Hello there guys, theBolderBoulder here, and today I'm going to be showing you yet another mock of mine, and this is Callibur, a hero from my Fall of the Hero Factory series, and I want to let you guys know beforehand that the Plan Proceeds Part 4 is now available up on my blog. Be sure to check that out, read that real quick. Link down in the description below, and then watch this video. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. So, as per usual, 360 view of the character. So, as you can already see, this is a bit of a different looking guy, to say the least. Though not super strange, I guess, but I'll get more into the reason behind his look in a moment. So now let's complete that 360 view. There you go. That's Callibur. So, first thing you're probably going to notice is this arm. And his, well, this is actually a gun. He's got a blade right here, and these are two swords. So let's look at his feet first, and then we'll progressively move up. Alright, here are those feet. And, well, I really liked these feet, and I didn't want to stick with the generic CCBS foot that pretty much every single hero used. So I went ahead and used these Toa Mata style of foot, and also added these additions. This guy is very fast, and so, well, these pieces were used on a Toa that was very fast. So that sort of reminded me of that, so that's part of the reason I put those on there. And for better stability and whatnot. Then I've also got these little pieces here on the side. Also for looks and stability. So, lower legs, pretty good coverage with those pieces up on the front. Upper legs, also the same thing, except the armor is on sideways, so it covers front and the back. And then here's the backs of the lower legs, and those actually ended up pretty nice. The reasoning behind the longer leg length is because of these feet. It made it easier for articulation and whatnot. And he's also a taller hero. So that's the legs. Let's move on to the torso. So there's the torso. Colors got silver back here. Just a plain silver, and got this big blue plate right here, and then white hero core. Now look at the back. There is two white swords, and also a tail. I'll get more into that later. And as you can see, this, I guess, shield piece or weapon piece, whatever you'd like to call it, is really close to the back. It's not jutting out, and there's not very much, gappiness to it at all, really. So now, look at his right arm real quick. So here that is. Pretty nice looking. And as you can see, let's take this off even easier to see. I used two of these type of bone pieces to make articulation even better than it already was. It's a little bit harder with some of these larger armor shells to make good articulation with just those normal pieces like this that you would normally see for elbows and knees. this makes for way better articulation, which is something they actually also did on Pohatu for Bionicle 2015, which was a good idea, LEGO. Good job with that. And it ends up working out great. Now here's a look at the other arm, the more interesting arm. So up here we've got a drone, silver armor, blue piece right here. Got a few little details right here. And this right here is actually a gun, which you can activate as it turns around, locks in place. And when he does that, these pieces move back. So let's do that real quick. Move backwards like so. Because of the... I built the arm the same way with the same type of bones on this side as well. So there you go. Now he's got a blaster. Very cool. And he's also got this weapon right here. I'll also get to that later. And there's those blades right there. Now, here is his head. And yes, this time around it's actually a mask. It isn't actually his head, I will say. And he's got the white head piece under that. So now let's zoom back out and I'll get more in depth of his story. So here he is. Now it's time to get into more detail of the figure and why he looks the way he does. So, this is his right arm, and has blue hand, just some silver armor right here, but this other arm, his left arm, looks very different. And the reason that is because, well, also you can see silver hand right there. The reason for that is because, well, he is a surviving hero, but it was not that easy surviving. During the initial breakout attack of the villains, when the villains were actually broken free from the maximum security prison, he was part of a team that was out searching for villains to go find them and recapture them. And, well, unfortunately, for the heroes and everyone else, and the citizens, the villains actually ended up winning, and destroyed the hero factory, and destroyed most of the heroes. And, well, this is a little bit deep and dark for this guy as well, because this arm was actually ended up getting cut off. So, and he didn't have these swords, and he didn't have this gun. He had his own little weapon set. He had a blaster, mainly, and a sword of his own, but it didn't end up working out for him. And he lost his arm, and the villains who were attacking him and his squad thought he was dead, and he remained motionless on the ground on purpose. That way they wouldn't continue to attack him and he wouldn't end up dying. But also, he was in such shock and agony, he really couldn't move physically. So, he lay there, cast aside, helplessly, as he watched the rest of his team be destroyed before his eyes. He's the only survivor from his squad. So, something like that really has to change you. So, he acted like he was dead completely, just so the villains would leave him. One of them thought he was alive, actually. But the head of that gang of villains who were attacking him and his squad just said, Just leave him. He'll die. We'll just leave him there. Look at that. He's lost an arm. Come on. He can't do anything. And so they left him there. And really, at the time, he couldn't do anything. But eventually, he rested long enough and mustered up enough strength to actually get up. And built himself his own new arm. Which now has a drone, and has a giant blaster, and this blade. He did not make this blade. It is actually one that villains killed some of his team members with. And the blade got left there around with him and his now destroyed squad. So he holds on to it because he's vowed to get back at those very villains who destroyed his team and who made him lose his arm. So he was able to find parts that matched his color scheme. And now he carries that blade everywhere he goes. So, he also has these two blades. So I'll show you him with those. It's actually fairly easy to do this. So, take off this blade, flip his gun back to deactivated. Flip these back down so it's more like a shield, really. That's the purpose of those. And for more detail, and he's got this tail. I'll get to more of that too in just a little bit. So he's got these two swords. Because he's very fast, which is why I gave him those feet, and he is a very quick, agile fighter, which is why he wears the mask of a wolf, and he has the tail of a wolf, because he says he is like the wolf. Very strong, though very agile. A very cunning one. Some people think he is strange, but really, would you ever be the same if you saw your entire squad or team destroyed before your very eyes, completely helpless, lying there? Exactly. So, he is different for a reason. So that makes him an even better component for the Alliance. And also, one more thing I want to mention, these two swords, I've had them for a very long time, but I couldn't find anything to use them for. I always wanted to use these two exact swords for them to be dual-wielded. I believe that's how. And, well, to just be a dual wield, I'll say. And it worked the best with this guy. So I really like it, and it looks really cool on his back, as you have seen before. Works great with his color scheme and everything. And of course, this drone is able to automatically detach itself and can fly through the air for reconnaissance, and has a little stun blaster on there as well. And it's also unable to be detected by villains thanks to Oran. So, believe that's it for it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to check out my latest story part down below. Link in the description. Check out my Facebook page because I'll have exclusive photos of this guy here. And I will see you guys again in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.